Hello, I am Walter Scott, and I'm trying to do a kind of inaugural broadcast via Twitter. And I just wanted to remember something that cropped up in the media headlines at some stage last year, which involved a man who went into a coffee chain and ordered a cup of coffee. And on receiving his order, he'd stammered on his name when he was placing his order. And when he got his cup, he looked, and around the top, the barista had written, for reasons best known to himself, ichard. And of course, Richard wasted no time, quite rightly, in showing his coffee cup to the media with, thankfully, I might say, a kind of interested reaction. And of course, this was a shame on various levels. This was a shame for the coffee chain in question, who obviously cared about its brand and would have cared about delivering a high standard of customer service. It was a shame for the barista, who I'm sure would have been absolutely mortified if he could have begun to imagine some of the experiences which you can guarantee, traumatic experiences, Richard would have experienced at school and perhaps in his early career. And I just wonder, actually, neither the coffee chain nor the barista really were to blame here. And I wonder where if, because this was simply a kind of example of many microaggressions towards people with disfluent speech that go on the whole time. It's absolutely everywhere. It's quite hard to pinpoint, but where it is, there is it's kind of set in people's attitude that this is a light-hearted, humorous thing, whereas actually it is deadly serious. And I wonder whether it's perhaps in schools where we need to invest a little, or frankly a lot more effort in not just helping children who stammer, but helping children around them to understand that speech is a frail gift, it's a miraculous gift, and that it is prone to flaw, it is prone to differences, and that these are perfectly normal. And I wonder whether that might begin to address the teasing and the bullying and the kind of lack of a real understanding that we know begins in schools with children at quite a young age. And just one more thought as well, just going back to that coffee company managing its brand. So you can bet your bottom dollar that it will have put a lot of effort now into making sure that staff in their package of training understand that a small proportion of customers who come in will have disfluent speech, and that it's important to be very sensitive to that. But to flip it round, I just wonder if Richard was being interviewed for a job as a barista in this chain of coffee shops, whether it would be acceptable for him if he was taken on to stammer while interacting with customers. And as we know, coffee companies put a lot of effort into managing their brand. And are staff who stammer compatible with that brand? And if we have to allow service providers a degree of freedom to manage their brand and to take on the kind of aesthetically pleasing labour that they need to do that, maybe it is not acceptable to have staff selling their products who stammer. But then how far do we take this term service provision? It's a question that I would love to find the right forum in which to have a debate about this, and I would be very interested to hear what you think. Thank you.